YouTube and welcome. I am Davros and I am a Whovian, and welcome back to First and Last Reviews. So today I am doing the Sixth Doctor, Colin Baker, 1984 to 1986. So, as his first and last adventures go, let's get on with the first. So, for the first review I am reviewing The Twin Dilemma. So, this stars Colin Baker in his first outing as the Doctor. So first of all, The Twin Dilemma is like this serial with two twins called Romulus and Remus, I know, the founders of Rome, that have this dilemma going on, and there's this big alien insect thing, whilst the Doctor quickly recovers from his regeneration and changes into the wackiest outfit the Sixth Doctor is known for. What did I like about this? Well, I liked Colin Baker in this. I also liked Nicola Bryant too. She sort of adjusted well to the Doctor changing. Perry Brown, that is. One thing I don't get though, why the Sixth Doctor felt the need to throttle her. You know, strangle her and that. Until she showed an image, his reflection and that. When talking about fairies. So, Colin Baker, of course, he's known for his crazy costume. Of course, when Colin Baker wanted to be the Doctor, he wanted something, what Christopher Eccleston eventually had. He wanted to wear black, but producer John Nathan Turner wanted the Doctor to look like a wacky alien in wacky clothes. So, yeah, that's the look he went with. So, yeah, it was a bit unfair that Colin Baker didn't get a say in his costume and that, but you know, that's life, I guess. Colin Baker, of course, had appeared in Doctor Who before in the 1983 serial The Arc of Infinity with his predecessor Peter Davison, and of course this was only the first time it had been done. The second time something like this happened was when it was Peter Capaldi in The Fires of Pompeii, would later return to be the Doctor. Let's go on to my likes and dislikes. So first of all, I like Colin Baker. I like Perry in this, Nicola Bryant. She's a lovely woman, like I've said, and she's absolutely nice, as I've already told you already. Colin Baker, he was a bit unlikable at first, but then he sort of grew on me quickly. He didn't spend the whole serial recovering like Peter Davison did. In fact, his regeneration was kind of the opposite. Like the post-regeneration, Peter Davison was exhausted by it, but Colin Baker was hyper about it and everything. All wacky and witty and that. And stuff. I didn't get much of the story, like the whole alien caterpillar thing and the dilemma and everything, but it's an okay enough serial, I guess. I mean, it's not my favourite opener for any Doctor, but you know, this was, I felt like this serial was introducing Colin Baker as the Doctor. I feel like we didn't get to actually know him well enough until the next season, which was the first serial, Attack of the Cybermen. He did, because this was, I felt like, this was like still Peter Davison's series. It was still Peter Davison's final season. You know, Colin Baker just took over at the end. He ended the season. But of course, Colin Baker was happy to be the Doctor. Everyone kind of liked him and that. I just wish he would have joined the show on better terms and that, because, well, the show in Colin Baker's first season got into a lot of bother with its violence and stuff. And of course, the show went on trial. But before we get to that review, the last one, it's time to give my ratings. So I thought The Twin Dilemma was okay. Effects weren't brilliant, but hey, it's the 80s. They had to do what they had. Other than that, I thought the serial was okay, but not brilliant. So with all that being said, I think I'll give Doctor Who The Twin Dilemma a 3 out of 5. Now for the last review from the Sixth Doctor, and that is The Trial of a Time Lord, The Ultimate Foe. Let's go. Okay, so Trial of a Time Lord, the Ultimate Foe. So, of course, Colin Baker's second season, and was unfortunately his last, became one big serial called Trial of a Time Lord that was 14 episodes long, but the story had various different stories going on in it and stuff, with flashbacks and flash forwards, and all that stuff. Also in 1985, Colin Baker's first season was seen a bit dark and a little bit over violent, and the show was going to get taken off air for a couple months, but they managed to just about save it, and the show was sort of on trial, so they thought, let's put the Doctor on trial. So yes, they did the serial Trial of a Time Lord, and they were like, was it 4 or 5 different serials? Yeah, I've got the box set up there. So yes, so the final 2 parts of the serial, I'm going to review them because they're like the final part of the Trial of the Time Lord serial, and it was called The Ultimate Foe. So I'm just going to review them 2, okay? So, let's get on with it. So, the Doctor is still on trial and that, and then next thing, the Doctor makes a shocking discovery that the Valeyard, who was in this whole serial throughout, is actually the Doctor from his, 12th or 13th regeneration, which I think is very unlikely now, because the Doctor's been to those regenerations. And of course, I think he altered his timeline and what have you. But then, in this, machine or something where reality is created and that, we have the Master, up to his meddling tricks. Yes, Anthony Ainley was a recurring Master throughout the 80s. I reckon if Delgado wasn't killed in the car accident, which was unfortunate, he would have done the same, been a recurring character. So, yes. So it had Anthony Ainley in it, and that. So yeah, the Doctor sort of has to clear his name, manages to clear his name and that, and then it ends where him and Mel go back into the TARDIS, and he's got carrot juice to look forward to. Carrot juice. So let's get on to my likes and dislikes. I didn't like this serial much. I thought, season 22 or 23 was meant to have regular serials in and stuff, but a lot of those got scrapped, but later adapted into books and audio adventures with Colin Baker. I didn't like the effects again, the 80s, but the effects were a lot improved though. I didn't like the opening credits. I didn't like the theme tune for that season. It just wasn't my favourite one. And yeah, I would say the only people I liked in this were Colin Baker's performance as the Doctor and Anthony Ainley's as the Master. I did not like Mel. In fact, out of all my companions in Doctor Who, Mel is by far my least favourite. I couldn't stand her. I mean, Bonnie Langford, she's alright, but I didn't like her in Doctor Who. She was absolutely irritating for me. I hated her. I just didn't like Mel. Simple as. She was annoying, and she had the most irritating scream ever. That's how she actually got the part. John Nathan Turner heard her screaming on a ride in Alton Towers, and that's how she got the part as the companion. Which, I didn't like the character. So yeah, that's a big dislike there. This serial as well, I felt was a bit rushed and stuff, and sort of altered and changed a lot, because the first part of this 2-parter was written by Robert Holmes, but because he died, he never got to finish it, and the man was very ill. Yes. Also, we got 2 other writers. I can't remember their names now, but they wrote part 2, and a lot of it had to be changed around. But in the end, they finished the serial, and that was the end. I feel like Colin Baker, excuse me, I feel like his character, that his Doctor, I felt like Colin Baker didn't get the good send-off he deserved, because John Nathan Turner managed to get the show renewed for another season, but they didn't want Colin Baker back, so they sacked him. But they did want him back for a regeneration. Of course, Colin, being absolutely enraged, refused to do a regeneration, so they improvised from there in The Time and the Rani, which we will review in the next episode. So, yeah, if you really want to, I guess you could. I was going to consider reviewing The Last Adventures from the audio adventures, but I just want to review like the on-screen appearances of the Doctor. But there is the final adventures where Colin Baker does get the send-off he deserved, where we actually hear him regenerate and we hear the transition from Colin Baker to Sylvester McCoy, which I think was brilliant, and I liked that, the audio. And with audios, I just close my eyes and let my imagination take over whilst listening. Okay, so let's just wrap this one up. So, final thoughts and ratings. I thought the Trial of a Time Lord serial was a goodish idea, but I didn't think a lot of the stories were good. This one, to me, the Ultimate Foe, was a bit complicated and stuff. But, yeah, Colin Baker didn't get the ending he deserved as well. So with all that being said, I think I'm going to give Trial of a Time Lord, the Ultimate Foe, I'll probably give this a 2.5 out of 5. Well, that has been Doctor Who First and Last review of The Sixth Doctor, Colin Baker, 1984 to 1986. So, let me know down in the comments below, have you seen any of the serials reviewed in today's episode? Also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. All of my social media links are all down below in the description. So, until next time, run for your life.